Visual. The most confusing, unnecessary, inconsistent, meaningless role in K-pop. Let me explain. Hey yo, how was good? It's me, Hyeautiful. In today's video, I'll be talking about the visual role in K-pop. But before we get into the details and things like that, first we have to know what is the actual definition of a K-pop visual. Well, according to my research, the majority of people came to the conclusion that a K-pop visual is someone who fits the Korean beauty standard the most. Now, is it only me, or the whole definition of the visual role itself is already questionable? It's questionable because the Korean beauty standard, what is it actually? What is the Korean beauty standard? Is it really only about having a small face, double eyelids, slim figure, pointed nose, or is there something else to it that we just don't know about? Well, I don't know about you, but I'm going with the second one. There are a lot of things that we don't know about the Korean beauty standard. Why? Because I'm not Korean. A lot of K-pop fans, a lot of you are not Korean. So if you are not Korean, you don't actually know the whole truth behind the beauty standard in Korea. Like, come on, let's be real. Having a small face, double eyelids, and all that are just the basics. There are more things to it that you just don't know about if you are not Korean, because you don't live there. You don't know the culture there. You don't know what's really going on in Korea. You don't know how Koreans actually define a beautiful person. You don't know. But the problem is, most of these international fans think they know it all. If they see a visual that don't fit a certain criteria of the beauty standard, they will say that she or he is breaking the beauty standard. When the truth is, no one is breaking anything. Because one, how can you break something that is really vague and inconsistent in the first place? As I said, we don't really know what the Korean beauty standard really is. Second, the truth is, they do still fit some of the Korean beauty standard that we as international fans know of. And third, they are simply beautiful in general. And the logic is, as long as Koreans also think they are beautiful, doesn't that mean they do actually fit the Korean beauty standard? Look, the thing is, fitting the Korean beauty standard the most does not make you the most beautiful in Korea. And if there's no official standard that we can hold on to, and on top of that, beauty being a subjective thing, then how can we decide who's the most beautiful in Korea? What, you expected me to give you an answer or something? I don't fucking know. I'm just as confused as you are, damn. But now back to the main question, that is, what is the meaning of a K-pop visual? Well, my answer to that question is, it can literally mean anything you want it to mean. Because the truth is, the visual role does not have a consistent meaning to it. Sometimes we see an idol became a visual because they fit the Korean beauty standard the most. But then sometimes we also see an idol became a visual because they are the prettiest in general. But then again, sometimes it's because they are the main attractor. You get the point. So my point is, basically, the meaning of the visual role itself is very inconsistent. And that brings me to the next question, that is, why was it there in the first place? If the role does not even have a consistent meaning to it, then why bother? Isn't it pretty unnecessary? I think the visual role is pretty unnecessary. To back my argument, let's take a look back at the origin of the role itself. Okay, so the role visual became a common and popular thing in K-pop because of yoooo. If you don't know who yoooo is the visual of the group SNSD, or you may know as Girls' Generation. Because of her visuals, yoooo became the most well-known in her group. She was also one of the main factors in the group's success because she attracted so many people with her visuals. But not only was she a visual, she was also the face of the group. That's right, if you don't know, there's another role in K-pop called the face of the group. What is it? Well, it's a bit complicated, but basically it's the one who represents the group. It's the most famous, especially in Korea. And now, the most important question is, how did yoooo become both the visual and the face of the group at the same time? Well, exactly. She became the face of the group mainly because of her visuals. She became the most famous. She became the group's representative mainly because of her visuals. So basically my point is, Visuals are just one of the main things that helps an idol in becoming the face of the group. The visual role should have never been a separate thing, because on its own, the visual role have no legitimate purpose. It doesn't guarantee you anything. If you're a visual, it doesn't guarantee you're the most beautiful, doesn't guarantee you're the main attractor, doesn't guarantee you're the most popular, doesn't even guarantee you're the one who fits the Korean beauty standard the most. The truth is, it doesn't guarantee shit, and it doesn't really mean anything. But in a way, it can also mean a lot of things. It can have a purpose when or if the visual is also the face of the group. Because the logic is, if you're also the face of the group, that means you have attracted so many people with your visuals that you became the most popular. You became the group's representative. And it also means you're the most beautiful because there's actual proof that you are the main attractor. And now back to why I think the visual role is unnecessary. I think the visual role is unnecessary because the visual role and the face of the group should have never been separated. It should have just been the face of the group. That's it. And also, another reason to why I think it is unnecessary is because, let's be honest here, every idol out there wants to be considered as a visual. And what do they do to achieve that title? They do surgeries. They do surgeries to fit the Korean beauty standard more. It's toxic, I know, but that's the truth. But now imagine how many idols out there that had many surgeries to fit the Korean beauty standard more, but is still not even considered as a visual by people. Crazy. Just imagine having many surgeries to fit the Korean beauty standard more and then thinking you're much more beautiful, but then in the end, you're still not even considered. Bro, considered as a visual. You must think you're ugly as fuck. All jokes aside though, let's be real. That will stress them out. That will make them think. But actually the truth is, as I said, if you're not a visual, it does not mean anything. And if you're a visual, it can mean so much things and nothing at the same time. So, confused yet? Because if you are, don't worry, me too. But yeah, that's it for the video. I've tried my best. Trust me, I've tried my best to summarize my thoughts in this, 7-8 minute video. Because I don't want this shit to be more than 10 minutes. Because if it's more than 10 minutes, that will just make it more confusing than it already is. So yeah, if you did understand this video, like it please. That will really help this video a lot. And if you mess with my energy, my vibe, hit that subscribe button, join the note again. But yeah, other than that, it's been me, Hyeautiful. Have a great day. See you next week, I guess, hopefully. Amen. I don't know. Bye.